They must have plowed somewhere.
I know, someone's doing it. It was such a
Yeah, they
nice
had
day.
to apply.
Yeah.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's see a few faces out there. Any public input? Let's go to meeting minutes. We have one set of meeting minutes before us, dated November 11th, 2025. I've had a chance to review them. I don't have any issues with what's there. Rich, you got any comments?
No.
Nope.
I like it.
All right, I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented for November 11th, 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries. No, we'll go with it. What we're going to do is kind of skip order a little bit. And we're going to go to the manifest portion and approve payment of bills next.
This is the one I just did today because we have additional. All right, I have Eastern Minerals for $5,659.37 for salt. 2 loads of salt, 60 tons?
Yep.
60 tons. Eversource, $29.90 and $179.73. There was one for Karen, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I know it was here. Oh, here it is, I'm sorry. $44.80 for travel for training to go to Concord.
Mm-hmm.
A total of $5,913. Put this here, you guys have to sign that. Okay, and these are the checks, I'll put the checks. All right. The payroll taxes in an amount of $1,569.04. And I have a payroll manifest of $5,195.54. So it is at the end of the month. Okay, here's the one that you guys have already looked at. Okay, All States Construction is $1,242, and it says Moose Mountain. Chris, I don't know if you want to, what did they do for that?
They, that was for a driveway that didn't come out just right with the asphalt. So that is just the cost of materials. They fixed the driveway with no labor charge. We raised the road up a little bit, and the transition was not smooth.
Okay, American Security Alarm, $384 for the annual fire monitoring. Carroll County Registry of Deeds, $25.56. Charter Communications, $109.98. Joanne Dalbert for purchased color file folders for personnel files, $7.46. I used I had points. Joanne Dalbear for mileage to go to Primex meeting, $81.90. We carpool. Karen Sabasic for her accommodations for her NHCTCA annual conference, and it is $374.34. Stayed overnight. Karen Sabasic for mileage for traveling to her conference, $105. Kinville Construction for $609.20, and that was for winter parking ban signs. Kinville Electric for the salt shed wiring, $2,786. NHACC annual conference that I attended, $60, which she's going to provide me what?
Yeah, we need the
She's
meeting.
going to,
Yes.
she hasn't written them.
I know.
I can
I'm
hold
aware.
her. I mean, it was approved at conservation?
Yes, but hold it until I do the minutes.
Okay,
We gotta be consistent.
all right. Just when you do that, give me a
Yes.
copy. Mitchell Municipal Group, we have three of them, 2,605.89, 454, and 125. Morton Salt, $65.94, and this was a leftover bill from last year, December, which I never received another notice after they apparently sent it in December, but, and then we had a credit, so they applied that. Our balance is $65.94.
Yeah, I saw the email you attached.
Yeah. State of New Hampshire Vital Records invoice, $34. Porter office machines for $85.49. And I think that's it.
So what are you gonna do with this, the Clea check? You're
I'm
gonna-
gonna hold it.
So we're gonna authorize it,
Yeah, and we'll hold it.
Louise, when we get the meeting
Yeah.
minutes?
What do you got for total on that?
$9,155.76.
I'll make a motion, we approve the manifest as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, let's do all four of them. All manifest?
All four?
Yes.
All four manifests, yeah. That's second, still valid,
Yes.
understanding it's all four.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have two checks that I need to have you approve for the donations. One is for $500 for the archives account on the Gaber Family Trust, and the other one is $500 for the Hackett project, $500 also from the Gaber Family Trust. So
How do you spell, is that G-A-B-O-R?
Gaber. So I need a motion to accept these.
I'll make a motion, we accept the donations from Mr. Gaber in the amount of $500, two $500 checks.
Sorry, who was the second one too? I got archives.
One is archives, one is Hackett project.
Okay,
The Hackett project should go into the Heritage Trust Fund.
Okay,
Not the trust
Not
fund.
the trust fund,
No.
the Heritage Fund.
right.
Um,
Do you think it should go in conservation or heritage?
Heritage,
Okay,
put it in
alright.
Heritage. And the other one, it's gonna have to go into the general fund, because we can't hold money
Right, okay.
for that purpose. So we'll try to get it expended for something this year, if not, we'll make sure we cover it in next year's budget.
Okay, that's all I have.
Is that a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got a motion and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Can I sign it?
This paper. These two paper. I'm not gonna do this.
Very good.
Thank you. Chris, do you want the boys or do you want to yell?
I can see.
There we go. Are they all signed?
I don't know.
I think they're all, and when will be
I
signed?
think Austin signed it.
I think they're signed.
Yeah, those are the ones we got earlier.
They're all signed?
Those are all signed.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Got it on with it.
Commander, do you have anything else? Or?
No, I think that's it, other than your budgeting.
You're free to roam about the cabinet.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the agenda. And we got some proposed warrant article language that we can discuss tonight. Rich, you want to?
Sure. The first one has to do with veterans credits. The state changed the law again, and you're not allowed to accumulate or put one credit on top of another credit. So last year, some veterans, some disabled veterans were getting $250 as a veteran's credit and $1,400 as a disabled credit. So they were getting a total of $1,650. So we are proposing a warrant article that would raise the disabled credit to $1,650, which was equal to what they had last year. And that's what that warrant article is. There's one typo on it that you caught, but I think it's done. So I think that's a warrant article.
Okay. You want to read it out loud, or is there anybody that you want to ask questions on?
Shall the town of Brookfield vote in accordance with RSA 72:27-A to modify the provisions of RSA 72:35 previously adopted for an additional tax credit of $1,650 for the service-connected total and permanent disability? If approved, this article shall take effect with the final tax bill of 2026.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we accept this warrant article as proposed.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Anybody have any questions on it? What it is we're doing and why we're doing it? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the other warrant article I was charged to put together is their elderly exemption. And last year, DRA rejected the wording of our warrant article. So we have to do it again. So what you have in front of you, on the bottom is the elderly exemption, the way it's implemented today. So for age group 64 to 65, they get a $50,000 reduction in their assessed value. For the age group 75 to 79, and that's where we had the mistake, they get $45,000 because they didn't word it right. That was not the intent. We have one person in that group. And for the 80 plus, we have 60,000, and there were no people in that group. So my question to the board is, what do we want the warrant article to say?
Why was it wrong? Why did they reject it?
Because we did not specify for each band what we wanted the number to be.
Okay. Wouldn't we just have one blanket?
Yes.
exemption?
Yes. So the 65 to 74 went through, but the others two did not.
All right, well, it's, you can see the intent is a gradual, graded approach to it. So if we split the difference and make that 55 at the 75 to 79 age bracket. What do you think of that, Austin? Do you have any comments?
No.
Which were your thoughts?
In the past, we had 15,000 different for each level. It was 15,000.
Okay.
You're talking off the value of the property.
Right, not off the taxes.
That's right. So, you know, 50,000.
So what you're advocating, based on that, you'd advocate the 75 to 79 goes to 65?
Yeah. That's what we did in the past.
Yep. And then the 80 plus would go to 80, is that correct?
Yes.
Austin, your thoughts on that?
I like it.
They approve it.
Yep. Does that have in there any provisions for the length of time in town?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's gonna be
It's
so many years.
5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All that would exist. All we're doing is talking about changing the numbers.
Yes, yes. Now, right below that, these are the income and asset limits to qualify. So if you make more than, if you're a single person and you have more than $50,000 a year income, you don't qualify
For any of them.
for any of them, any of them. If you're married, it's 60,000. Asset limits, if you have more than $75,000, not including your home, you don't qualify. We okay with those numbers?
I think the income limits are too low, to be honest with you. I know a lot of elderly people tend to move into a fixed income bracket, but that's still pretty low, especially on the married side. I mean, two people, if they're both on social security payments, could easily
That's right.
top that amount, just on social security. You have any thoughts? What are you thinking, Rich?
We could go 75 and 90. I mean, we don't have many people in town that qualify as it is. Total of 4. And people are struggling, low income people are struggling to pay their taxes. And this just lets you qualify to apply for it.
So I don't have any problem with going to 75 and 90. Like I said, I thought that the 50 and 60 are relatively low. What are your thoughts?
I agree, I feel like that is very low.
And the asset limits I'm okay with because it excludes the home. So that's reasonable. That would mean a car or property if you had land.
That's right, that's right, other than the house. Okay, so we're going 50, 65, and 80.
Yep.
And we're going 75 and 90 for income limits.
Yep.
I can pull that together.
So based on that, you want to draft up a new...
Yeah, but I need the numbers.
Yep.
And then I would propose that for the one person that didn't get there, that's still at 45, we write an abatement letter to bring that person up to 50, because that was the intent of the town. So I gave you a draft of that. If you want to read the draft, that's what we would give. But the idea is when we get the tax bills, we put the abatement in, so the tax bill to that individual reflects the abatement.
Yep.
So if you have any, take a look at that letter. If you're okay with that, that's what we'll get ready to go with.
And so you want to vote just on those numbers alone, or do you want to just take those numbers, bring a draft back?
Well, normally what we do is we put together a warrant.
Yep.
And when we're all done, we look at the warrant, we approve all the warrants.
All right, so go ahead and put it together.
So, there's some other warrant business we have to do, right? We have to decide when the election is going to be, what hours the election is going to be, and when we're having town meeting.
I thought we had that. I didn't bring it with me, but I know I've seen it. It's in that one page. Here are all the key milestones that we gotta look at. Get to
That one?
We have to decide on the voting hours.
Yeah, this is what I'm referring to. All right, so the meeting, getting there. March 9th. Tuesday, March 10th will be the day for voting, and we've got to determine the hours, right?
Yes.
What have we done in the past?
1 to 7? 1 in the afternoon to 7 PM?
Yeah, and I'm going to do noon to 6 now. We went to 7 because some individuals couldn't make it in by 6. They didn't show up last time we voted. They must have made it in by 6. So we sat there for the extra hour waiting for these key people to come in, and they didn't make it. So noon to, I would go with noon to 6.
What are your thoughts?
Noon to 6 sounds good.
There's a couple hours after a typical working day to get down here. As far as the law, Jan, is that, are we in
Yeah.
compliance with doing something?
Yes. Yep.
So, you want to make that a motion, I'll go with it.
Okay, I'll make it a bigger motion though.
Okay.
When's the business meeting? Saturday, 10 o'clock?
Yes, then that would be March 5th.
14th.
March
14th.
14th.
So I'll make a motion for the upcoming town election. Voting hours are noon to 6, with the business meeting continued till Saturday, March
14th.
at 10 o'clock.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Please give that to the town clerk.
The minutes or just the note of the
She
decision?
just needs the hours.
Okay.
She has to post that in the school board. Will want to know when we're voting.
All right. Anything else, Rich?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Office renovation workflow, I don't think we're ready for that one yet. Townhouse maintenance, I was looking through the budget and presented a while ago, and several of the items in there that we were already addressing as line items within the proposed budget itself. So there's still more to go, but I don't think the purpose or objective was to do it all in 1 year. And, so for example, we've got the acoustical ceiling. Get the townhouse cleaning, that'll be part of the line item. Cleaning of the townhouse, that's also going to be a line item in the proposed budget. There are a few more things that we've got to look at. I'm suggesting that we look at those further down the road. One of them being moisture content in the crawl space under the building, or the monitoring system to keep an eye on that. There's $2,000 for the ramp coming into the back door. And then renovation of the old clerk's office. I don't think that we need to do anything on those at this point. Some point down the road, they have to be addressed. I would suggest we just stay with what we've got for right now. The $8,500 in the line item for the budget on the acoustics. Get that squared away first, then we'll look at the other stuff. Maybe that's a higher priority.
I think it's a pretty good list. I think we should lay out, maybe in a different spreadsheet, what's required and what's our best guess as to when we're going to start tackling these. Because what I think you just said is we're going to look at acoustics and just not address the other ones now.
Not now, right? That's correct. So your point is, when are we gonna address it?
At least the plan. So when are we gonna spend the money?
Yeah.
I think we should do that.
Chris?
Can I make an addition to this,
Sure.
or a suggestion?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter if it is under the townhouse or the town office or the garage, but you should think about taking care of some of the trees around here. There's dead trees along the back property line, and on this side of the parking lot, there's several trees that are encroaching the parking lot. I don't know how long it's been since they've been trimmed back or cut, but we're getting closed in a little bit over here, and all the ash trees behind the buildings are dead, and the branches and stuff are falling in the parking lot there. Poses a risk to park cars there when there are, but if we're making a budget, we're looking for possible things that are gonna cost money in the coming future, I would make an allowance somewhere for some tree work. We've done some the past couple of years around here, but if it's gonna go into this part of the budget, then
Well, it's a line, there is a line item in here for grounds and maintenance. So when we get into the full budget, we can address that at that point. But to Rich's point on the townhouse maintenance, the highest priority, I think, is the acoustical ceiling. And Jan, I know you talked about when it came to the cyber systems, webpage, ADA compliance was in 27. Do you know if
Correct.
that would apply here as well? Is that across the board ADA compliance in town?
It's just for the website,
Just for what's
just for the website, right.
okay.
But if I could just add one thing, I know that we said we're going to hold on the office design. I did bring 3 plans for each of you, and I think if we think about just the whole strategy for what we're doing with the buildings, we should really talk about what that strategy, you can look at this later. This is just plans that Patty put together, but I wouldn't spend $1 until we figure out what would growth look like, what do we really need for offices, what do we need next door, and I think that would just be part of the town strategy for 3 to 5 years from now, or 5 to 10 years from now. Do we expect growth, do we not? As opposed to, and I think that'll help us from a budget perspective as well. And additionally, I asked Marshall, he's going to SRPC tomorrow to talk about the master plan and the maps. So I asked them to find out if for the annual fee that we pay them, do they have someone who can help a town do growth strategy as a resource for us? Because I don't know if we have that experience, but that I think would be helpful.
Well, you made me think of a question too. Does the master plan that's being developed right now look at the townhouse and show any projections in the other years for what may need to be done?
No, it
It's not
doesn't.
in the master plan. Okay.
Only what Heritage put together, and that's sort of it's kind of a 3 to 5 year look.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So the big hitters I see here are the ADA compliance with that ramp. And, I'm not sure, but is that the same item, Chris, that you were talking about as far as
Yeah.
the pavement at the end goes?
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a fairly critical idea as well. There are a lot of big hitters in here. Well, I think probably next year we could do both. We could do the ADA compliance at a $2,000 clip, and renovation of the old town clerk's office.
I don't want to do that.
Well, that's a good point. We could kick that one down the road to 27, because I think it's gonna take some time. It depends on what we wanna do here before we decide what we're gonna do there. That's gotta be considered in the plan.
I think if you look at the work that's been done here, and you look at the space that we have next door, and you look at the land next to us, where are we going in 10 years? Do we have any idea of what we're gonna do over the next 15 years? I mean, this is good, what Patty did, but we're gonna outgrow it. So what's our plan? What's our plan for using our space? We're gonna use this space, we're gonna go somewhere else, we got land on Governor's Road. We don't have a plan. I think we have to put a plan together.
You wanna take the lead on that?
Sure.
Would that be a capital improvement plan?
No, not doing a capital improvement plan. We'll put together a projected plan for how we're gonna use our land next 20 years, what we think we need.
Okay.
Do we need a police station? Do we need a fire station? I know it's crazy, do we? Where would we put it if we needed it, right? And if you're gonna do that, does this become the police station? I mean, we don't have any ideas.
Right.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. You got a time frame for when you wanna do that? Post town meeting? After the town meeting or what?
I used to put in the town report the best guess we had for the maintenance we were going to do around here, with a little matrix. It wasn't very complicated, but it provided what we think we're going to have to deal with in the future.
No, so you mean we already got one?
That has to be updated. So usually the chair updated that, but I'll do it.
Okay. See how that shift was, that was pretty good.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take a look at it.
Any strategic plan would most likely require a CIP. Why is there resistance to a CIP? I'm
We had
curious.
one. We had one.
Had.
Yes. The town voted it in, and we voted it out. Because we created a CIP, the selectmen created the CIP, gave it to the planning board gave it back to the selectmen. No value add at all, other than moving the paper. Turned it off.
Why was it sent to the planning board?
That's the process you follow when you have an official CIP program.
It goes to the planning board?
The planning board's supposed to do it and then give it to the selectmen and then it's voted on.
However, in reality, the selectmen created it, gave it to the planning board, they handed it back to us.
In every single town that I cover, if they do have a CIP, the selectmen created the CIP committee and they went and they took it and ran with it. Why was that never done?
That's not the way we did it here.
Oh, okay. I made my comment. Thank you.
Because we don't have a plan, right? Capital improvements, what capital improvements do we see coming?
The bridge.
Well, then a strategic plan should be the committee or the mechanism to make that happen, not a CIP. The CIP should be done anyway, just like capital assets should be done also, but that's another conversation. But a strategic plan is a whole separate animal. So you're going to do that?
I'll try to pull together.
Good. Because that way we can plan and plan for funding for those items that we may have to foresee needing.
I wouldn't put the funding in, because, here's what we have to fund it someday. How are we going to do it? See where we stand.
But that plan could include telling the town that when we do put this strategic plan together, we're going to have to find a way to make sure that we're funding these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, so any further improvements to the town hall will be addressed in that plan. So for 2026, we get the 8,500, and then the normal maintenance for the cleaning and furnace work and that sort of stuff.
And the 8,500 is?
Acoustics, which we
we're doing this year, right? When are we getting that bill, this year or next
No,
year?
we only gave them 1,200 for this year, right?
1,200 for this year. The meeting is December 2nd. I'll talk about it in a little while, unless you want to know. The proposal that I gave you includes the cost of the architect and whatever they may say would be like the first phase. I just capped it at $8,600 for the first year.
And that is just their report, not any implementation.
Correct.
So
That those bills, if we want, the report should come by late December, early January. They can bill us this year if we want to pay for it this year, or they can bill us in January, and then we have 30 days to pay them. So it's really your call when you want that money, what budget you want it this year or next year.
We're already tight this year. We got the 1,200 on the books already.
yeah, I would think for the invoice coming the 15th of December, and if we have 30 days to pay it, we make the call end of December whether we take it this year or next year,
Okay,
right?
Yep.
If we have 30 days.
we do.
Okay, anything else? Okay, we've got the next three things are trust fund contributions. They're all going to be part of the budget. So what I'd like to do is move into the budget review. 2026 budget review. You got your worksheet with you? All right, so pretty. No, I don't have any questions on page 1, 2, or 3. Or 4. On page 5, this may have already been answered, but I don't remember. For the planning and development, we got 12.5. Wasn't that what we were spending this year on the master plan? Is that going to carry into 2026? Why are we carrying it forward?
We're not entirely done asking SRPC for help. We're not sure how much they're going to charge us for that help, if it's at all any extra or not. So they wanted to carry it over just in case.
We are not writing a check for 405. We are very careful how we spend money with SRPC. And when we have some work for them to do, we negotiate a fee for that work. And that's what we spend with SRPC. So, for example, the master plan work, even though it says 12.5, I think our contract is for 8,000.
But that's to be spent in this year.
My
Right?
point is, they're providing good service, so we'll carry it over for next year, and we don't have to spend it, but if they're continuing to provide good service, can't believe I'm saying this, if the one this year's good, it's all the anti-SRPC, we continue with it.
It's on video.
So the part that's missing on here is because we haven't paid it yet, is that middle column for 2025 expenditures is going to say 8,500.
In that range, yes.
Okay.
I want to go back to page 2.
Yep.
Supervisors of the checklist are here, but they have $8,000 in for a file cabinet. Other organizations are putting $8,000, $5,000 in for file cabinets. We are spending money on fireproof file cabinets this year, like the popcorn. How do we want to handle that? Treasurer wants one for HR.
I thought the supervisors of the checklist were looking for 2. Am I correct on that, or?
Assessing one, assessing needs one, supervisors of the checklist, I think you just said need one,
Just
and
one?
Joanne needs one.
And that should not be any more than the 5,000, if that's what that's based on?
They're 5,000 apiece.
Right.
We're gonna get 3?
No. Oh, you mean between all the groups?
They all want one.
Yeah, they need one that's 6,000 because it's gotta be a little wider, not the standard letter size. Sounds like Joanne's looking for one and the checklist is looking for one. So there would end up being 3
Okay.
for the total, but we don't need that, this is just for the checklist people, right?
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be, where was that line item?
Page 2. Right in the middle. Under supervisors, there's a check.
59, number 59.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. That shouldn't be 8, that should be 5. Anything else, Rich?
Not on that page.
All right, anything, just jump in. Page 4. Okay, page 5, we talked about carrying 12.5, so
You're going fast.
oh, by the way, there's a typo on, that's not a big deal. On page 5, part-time wages on the line 169, that should be ZBA, not ABA, but I'll have Ryan fix that. Okay, this is the one we're talking about. If you go to page 6, line 193, that's what this is.
192, that's okay.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the salt shed. This isn't the salt shed.
No,
No,
192.
repairs to garage, 192.
My 192 says repairs to the salt shed.
No.
91.
191. Repairs to the salt shed, 192.
Right. What does that say? What does 192 say?
It says repairs to salt shed.
So we don't have that.
So that's the only part. I'm not.
So we're not playing with, we're not playing with
Okay, the numbers are
What
probably
did you state on the bottom?
1117.
Nope.
I got 1111.
I got 1111.
We have 1111.
So that's the issue.
Okay.
So why don't we,
Why didn't you get the right information? Right, we can still make this work. Well, it's 192 or 193. The question is repairs to the garage. And that's what this is, right?
Correct.
Okay. You get a copy of that, Rich? So the proposal is in the amount of 19.5, and it looks as if it has all of the salient points that we want. We're gonna take out the old door, shrink it down, put in a new door, repair all the siding. You know, Austin, if this included moving the side door into
said it
the...
did. I think it does, this is it. Unless you're working, this will work from different copies. Removal of the current side entrance door.
Okay, yeah, there it is. Yep, okay, so it did it. So that amount is 19.5, so we've got 26 carried there. I think we should change that to 20. And this will cover it. The other option is to push this off and not do it this year. But it does, I mean, it's not leaking, but it does need to get done and repaired. If we're gonna hang on to that garage, it needs to be taken care of, so.
I'd leave it at 26, because that's not a proposal, that's just a ballpark number. If we change anything, it's gonna change. If we do it, leave it at 26.
Then I would advocate taking it out, taking it down the road. 2027. We got a lot on the plate, we got a lot of money that we're asking the town to put up this year. And that garage,
I can't quantify that. It's too early, I can't quantify that number. When I looked at the budget right now, we're up $100,000
is correct.
out of 1.5 million. That's like 3, 4, 5%. See, we don't know yet to kick it down the road. I think we might have to, but I think it's too early to say that now.
What are your thoughts?
Is it any use to us?
The garage?
Yeah.
It's a glorified storage shed. There's not much in it. There really isn't a lot of use for it at this point. However, as Rich pointed out earlier, where are we in 10 years? Do we have a cruiser? Do we need someplace to park it? And then it has a purpose,
Correct.
you know, but we're certainly not there yet. And that's why I'm thinking that we could put it off. But we'll wait. I mean, there's a lot of numbers that we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen anything from Wakefield. We haven't seen anything from Kingswood, or I shouldn't use Kingswood, GW School District. So when we get those numbers on, we can come back and revisit that and make a decision at that point. Okay? So that's on the radar screen. Anything else on those pages? Page 7. Again, we don't know what these numbers are going to be as Wakefield. Fire, police, ambulance. We're carrying 500,000, and that's strictly a wild guess. Go into code enforcement. That is showing a reduction actually primarily because of the Avatar software that we bought this year. $7 grand and we're only paying $800 for maintenance services on it. Page 8. Again, solid waste, the same thing. That's strictly a wild guess. And direct assistance, that's an unknown, so we will carry something. Page 9. Gaffney Library. On page 16, and we're asking for 20. Anybody got any issues with that?
Why do they want more this year?
Pardon?
Why do they want more this year?
Well, they have a budget. Janelle, you want to elaborate?
Yeah.
on
Each year, the Gaffney asks for, $16,000, $18,000, $20,000, and the town generally underfunds the portion that our population uses, active users use the library. So $20,000 is what equivalent to the number of users that are active users in Brookfield. By comparison, I think Wakefield, they have clearly more, but they have, I think the budget asked for them was something like, was it 120, something like that?
I
I think it's more than that.
think it was like 220.
Yeah, Wakefield is 221,000. Ours is 28, and that's 7% of the budget total, but we are really about 8 point something % of the users. So it's in line with the services they provide to our population.
And there were a number of years where Brookfield level funded the Gaffney year after year, while Wakefield continued to give, 5%, 10% increase, which really is cover the labor expenses. It's not like they're adding a lot of fluff. And so now we have to like step it up a little just to catch up, and then hopefully next year it wouldn't be as significant.
Right. And we are very active about writing grants to fund a lot of things that we can't take out of the budgets that we get from Wakefield and from Brookfield, so that we can provide the programs that we provide and that people use. So we've been really successful about grant writing.
Thank you.
I'd like to suggest that we do a 10% increase over last year and take it to 17.6 as opposed to 20. Any thoughts on that? You okay with the 20?
Yeah, I looked at the numbers, I guess, in detail. And saying it a little differently, the 20 is based upon Brookfield's active use of the facility, not on we think the population is such and such. It's based upon actual usage. If Brookfield's using it, and that's our fair share, that's our fair share. I mean, maybe we don't like it, but it's being used. It's being used. So you got two options. We don't use it as much, or we take the somehow get the entire budget down to 220 or whatever it is. But we're using it.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Let's go on.
I want to go back up.
We'll go up, okay, where are we going?
Greater Wakefield Resource Center.
That's on page.
I won't give you the line number, but it's on page 9. Do you have it on there?
It's probably 289 for you.
Yep, it is. What do you got?
Well, they provide meals at a cost down in Union. They charge people for it. Anybody can come in. I don't see why we're subsidizing that. You don't have to be poor. You don't have to be hungry. You just want to go in and have a meal. Go in and pay for it, but we're kicking in $500. I'd strike it.
Did they submit a request for that, or is it just something we've carried over from the other
Last year was the first year,
that we saw anything from
and
them?
I had an opinion then. Same opinion this year. I mean, they published the menu, come on down and have a meal. They charge it. Why are we paying for that?
I agree.
Do they provide any other service?
No. As far as I can tell, come on and have a meal, lunch hour.
They do provide other services, job resources, housing resources. It's the local resource for this area for people who need. And the same with the Wakefield Food Pantry. You know, besides food, they are sending people over to the library. They help people find resources, whether they send them to Tri-County CAP, Wakefield, Greater Wakefield Resource Center, or to the library. That's where they help them apply for jobs or find jobs and, skill sets, those kinds of things.
They might do that, I never see that advertised. I see the menu.
Yes,
advertised.
the menu
I see the
definitely.
menu advertised every month, here's what you can get every day that they're open.
Yeah.
I never see any of the other activities.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
do we have a policy that controls the application for outside agencies like that? Like at the county, people have to apply for money. Do they apply? I just didn't hear a clear answer on that. And, if I don't know what size organization they are, I don't know what their revenues look like. Anything below 500,000 doesn't require an audit in New Hampshire, but anything above does. Do we ever see their 1099s? Do we ever see any of that information before we give them any money? And it is only $500, and I'm sure a lot of elderly do use it for food. So I'm not griping about the $500, I'm just saying, do we have a policy for outside agency applications? And if not, we should. That way they could come in and present to us what they do, so maybe we'll give them more money. that at least we're covering ourselves. Because up in Ossipee, years ago, the Agave Ministries food pantry, I think it is, had an embezzlement issue go on, and it didn't have proper oversight. So I'm saying we really should have a policy for that, for any agency that's asking for money. You need to see that, the information. They have to be certified by the state if they're a nonprofit. And if they're not a nonprofit, we are still allowed to legally give them money, but it has to be for a public good. So there are rules that you have to follow. Thank you.
And
Okay, yep.
I would just add one more thing. We can check the state because they have an online database that shows they are charity in good standing, because not all of them are. So, and to that point, I think whether they come in here or we go over there, I think if we're giving money to anyone, it's important to go see what it is they do, so we have a full understanding.
Well, to Rich's point, though, we have not seen a request, and that's consistent with what they're saying too. If they don't ask, why are we giving it? You know, because if they want to come in and ask, that's going to trigger us to say, show me the numbers. Show me why you think you need the $500. So I think we should strike it until we hear from them. If we hear from them before we set the budget, maybe we can reconsider it. But at this point, I would say let's strike it.
The next one, VNA. I unfortunately had to use their services this year. I paid for it all. So I don't know why we're giving them money when they bill the clients. Now, the history is, Mary Lou used to be working at the VNA, so she would come in and argue why they needed the money. We haven't heard anything from VNA since Mary Lou left. So, I don't even think we got a request for the money. Maybe we did, but Joey didn't mention it to me. But then again, I paid the full boat, or my insurance company did. It wasn't free.
So are you advocating striking that as well?
Yes.
Any issues? Questions?
No, I mean, I've never had to use it. If they're paying, if you gotta pay out of pocket or insurance,
Well, what we don't know is if your insurance had to pay a bill, did they pay the full value of the bill? Or do they take into consideration donations like this and you're only paying 98%, 90% of the bill? I don't know that. But I know typically those types of agencies work that way. I'm not saying that these guys do, but again, if they haven't asked, we should strike it. You all right with that?
Yeah.
yeah.
What I don't see on the list is Meals on Wheels.
I think
Don't
it's
know if we
page
got that
4.
request, but
It's the page before.
It's in there, I'm pretty
It
sure.
is.
It's line 275,
What page?
page 8, 8, line 275.
Okay, fine, because I know we use that. Fine. And the other ones I think we should support. Tri-County gives us a breakdown of where the money goes, so I think that's a good investment. They want $1,700. They pay oil, electric, to help a lot of people in town.
That's a pretty odd number. Do you know if that is what they actually asked for?
I think so. They based upon usage and what their total bill is, yeah, total.
Right, anything else on page 9?
Did we resolve the library?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at 20.
Okay.
And this is where I think having the numbers would go. I get the capital outlay on page 10. Middle of the page, line 327 for you guys.
Yeah.
Is that actually a trust fund?
This is the money we took out of the trust fund.
That's what meant by capital outlay.
We put, remember,
Budget 18, we took 25.
Well, we spent 25. I'm not sure what we're taking out of the trust fund. The town authorized 18. So the rest could be general fund. Town repair was 75 out, and we took out 76. Town authorized the 75. Are we gonna,
So then the next section below that,
Yes.
at line 333 is the capital outlay, or is the outlay of money into the trust fund.
transfer to, in, yeah, it's going in.
Yeah.
That's what was, yeah.
So what we want to talk about is the road and bridge repair, and these will be in the form of warrants, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good segue from where we were before. The first one that we're looking at is road and bridge repair. If I knew how much was in there right now, it would give me a better,
Zero,
it's at zero,
because we're taking 200 for the contract.
and that's the one that is coming out.
Well, there's two there, we have to take it out of two different trust funds, but the total is $200,000. So for planning purposes, we have zero in there.
Okay. Which one is the other one? That's the Moose Mountain Bridge Fund? So we got the road and bridge repair as one of the funds. The one that we're taking the 200 out this year.
The other one's as confusing as can be, we're gonna fix that someday. The other one is the Moose Mountain Bridge Repair Fund.
I think the road and bridge repair is just the general road repairs, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
That's a different fund, and then we have two Moose Mountain Bridge funds.
We have a Moose Mountain Bridge Fund for sure, and then there's another fund.
For road repair.
It says
Yeah.
Moose Mountain, but is it just Moose? It's very confusing, and we
I think
changed
I
it.
sent one of you details on that, and I
Yes.
believe it is for Moose Mountain.
Okay, it comes to, two funds come to 200.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what the bid is.
But it sounds like what she's saying is neither one of those.
207, I don't think those are that fund you're looking at right here. I have to see, do you have an
Neither one
annual
of those,
report?
neither one of those, though, if I understand where I have it, are this item, road and bridge.
Yeah.
Road and bridge.
Because we didn't put any money in. That's right.
So what does the road and bridge repair have? Because we're not taking anything out of that one to do the Moose Mountain.
Yeah, we,
Wait a second.
repair for town roads, we took out $75,000 this year. Right? The road and bridge repair fund at the end of last year had 153,000. I think you took out 75 and you're putting in 75.
So by the end of this year, it should be the same.
About the same, yes. Well, there'll be some growth. And the two Moose Mountain funds come up to $207,000.
And those are Moose Mountain Bridge?
Moose Mountain Capital Reserve Fund 2 and Moose Mountain Capital Reserve Fund 1, which specifies specifically the bridge. They both, though I looked at the warrant articles, they both cover the bridge. You don't think they do, Rich?
Oh, I think they do. I
Don't you
remember
know
the
that?
discussion. What we have to do when we run that, write that warrant article, we close one.
Close one of them
rolls
and
out.
use the other one.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. That would make my life easier too. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're sitting on 153 in the road and bridge repair fund. And that should be where we are at the end of this year. So do we want to contribute more to that fund? We have the line item for road maintenance. That's a separate line item built into the budget. So this is what will contribute to that fund. Is there any other fund in there for road repairs?
No,
So that's the one, 153 is what we're sitting on. Now, to the point you were making at the last meeting, when we go to fund the project for the Moose Mountain Bridge, will this be available?
We don't want to confuse it. That's what
No.
we just talked
no,
about.
that's the road, that's not the bridge.
We want to use one of the two that Meg just talked about.
Okay.
Kill one and fund the other.
Okay, yep. So what I would advocate then is that we do not add to the existing road and bridge repair fund. It'll be at 153, let's let it sit there. And since we can't use it for Moose Mountain
What do you
Bridge,
have for roads for this year,
You
2026?
could. You could
No,
Same as last year.
use it on Moose Mountain.
like another
oh, I just asked, you
75,000.
said no, you don't want
You
to.
could,
I don't know what
could
that
use
is.
it. Don't have
Oh,
to. It's for all
okay.
roads.
That's an accounting.
That's not your number,
Question.
okay, thank you.
Ed just asked a question or made the point, we could use that for the Moose Mountain Bridge because it's one of the roads in town. We could add that in. It's a town road. So it could be used, but for clarity purposes, we were trying to put money into the Moose Mountain Bridge Fund.
Right.
And that's why we really have 3 funds for roads. 2 for the bridge and 1 for the roads. And it just gets confusing.
Yep.
And the more general one has been used for paving projects, like Clark Road, Lightford Road.
This one.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, and I don't see any reason to put any more money in there right now. There's 150 in there. I don't know of any projects that are coming that we have money in the budget for paving?
Yes.
Yes?
As far as I'm concerned, it's in the annual budget for road maintenance. The only thing that I can see this fund would be used for is an emergency situation. Because we currently fund our road maintenance annually.
That all means leave it at 0, put 0 in.
Yep, I think we should leave that as is. Meg, since you got the book right in front of you, you got the Townhouse Repair Trust Fund?
Let's repair. It was 21,000. It will be at like 23, I think, at the end of this year, because we were putting in 20 and you took out 18 in the 25 ones.
Okay, we know that there are gonna be some expenses coming up on that building. Do you wanna start funding that a little bit this year, or do you wanna kick the can on that one? Thoughts?
I think we should put together the warrant. And leave it there with no dollars on it. So we can get a view of what we're gonna be putting in and out of the trust funds.
So if you don't put a number there, how are you gonna get that view?
We've got some contracts coming in December. So in December, we'll have a number, and we'll decide whether we want to put anything in or nothing in.
Oh,
The acoustics
for the acoustics?
reports will come in with phases and recommendations.
So Meg, that's a good point to clarify. When you said you expect 23 at the end of the year, were you considering the $1,200 that we're gonna spend?
No,
So it's closer to 20.
the only outlay is what was approved in the warrant.
We,
You could override and take money out of a trust fund without a warrant, but typically Brookfield does not do that. They plan what they take out. Am I correct, Rich?
that's right, we said we were going to cover the 8 out of operating.
Right.
Right, and we got that in the operating budget. So, right, let's align that, isn't that? Can we,
It's this year's budget, it's operating this year, right? We said we're going to fund, the bill's coming in, we just talked about that.
Yeah.
If the bill comes in December, we're going to take it out of this year's operating, or take it out of next year's and put it into the budget. But I don't think it's in there now.
oh, for the 12, what about the 85? You talking about the 85 on it? You're not gonna pay that until 26.
We don't know. We don't have to make that call until December.
Okay, but the only thing they've asked for is the 1,200 right now.
That's right.
And we're not gonna see that bill until after the first of December.
December 15th.
No, I actually just put it in
I'm sorry,
because
you're
that is,
You're right.
that's a retainer, but remember, that gets credited back to us on the last bill that we pay.
Right, so we are on the hook for the 1,200 from this year. We won't see any more of a bill until middle of,
Right, okay, well, he'll give us whatever we want. We want him to bill us for the hours he's done in December, then we can do that, but otherwise it'll be next year.
so I guess the question then is, do we want to put that in as a line item on the budget? Or do we want to put it as a warrant article to expend from the trust fund? What do you think?
I think we have to rack up all the numbers. I think we have to assume that we're going to put in more than the 18. Yes, I would assume that we're going to get a proposal, and it's going to be for some number, $30,000, pick a number. And we're going to say, okay, we're not going to do 30,000 in 1 year. We might do 10. So the number that would be a warrant article would be to put, well, it's a decision we have to make, put 10 in or take 10 out, and take the trust fund to 10.
And either way, that would be in the form of warrant.
Absolutely. Okay. Office equipment, the next one is office equipment, that's for computer equipment. We're putting money away for 5 years from now, 3 years from now, wait to start upgrading. Property reval, we need the 9,000, because that's a contract.
Yep. Meg, do you have numbers in there on the office equipment capital reserve?
Office equipment? Yeah. Office equipment. What was that, 6,000?
Yeah, it's small, very small. We took it out the last time.
And, well, it will be at 11 because we're putting 5 in, right? I don't think we took anything out of office equipment this year.
Okay.
I don't think we have to put any more money in equipment. We could almost take it out of operating. If we have a base there, I mean, operating it's going to cost us $5,000. Take it out of operating.
Yeah. So we'll leave that at zero. I agree with you on that. We'd put a zero in for that line item. Now you go to the property reval, that's a long term, that's a 5-year thing. We assume it's gonna be 9,000 every year until we get to the
4 years.
final.
4 years, and then we get the final bill, yeah.
So I would suggest we keep it at 9,000 for 2026. All right, next one is building and grounds. You got a number on that one, Mike?
That is, I think that's a capital as well, isn't it? It was at 40 at the end of last year.
So you said 40?
Mm-hmm.
40?
And you're adding 25, so it's 65.
We'll go to 65, and we haven't drawn anything out of that. Do you see any need to be drawing out in 26? Chris, anything in your mind? With the salt shed, if we decided to do some kind of a paving, would that?
Possibly paving, but
That's what it was. We were shooting for the crib, for the sand and salt, and we estimated that to be 50,000. So we put 25 in last year. We were going to put another 25 in this year, but you've done some work on it and think we can get by for another 10 years with what we have. We don't need it now, right? We don't need it now. So I don't think we have to put any more money in there.
I don't think you have to do it right now. Obviously, things get more expensive the further down the road we push it, but I think the building is fine for the foreseeable future. The paving, a little bit of paving around is the only other thing that I would say is there, but if the money, if we, well, we can't use that money from last year for it, but that would be the other item.
And any improvements could come out around it for the paving, could come out of this fund without any trouble. We're agents so expensive, we wouldn't even need to do a warrant necessarily.
Do
a warrant
a
anyway?
warrant.
Okay, but the point is, we wouldn't have to put anything back in. I think that's the.
But again, it may not be big money to pave that. I mean, it might be $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000.
It's probably a little more than that, but it's not to the level of the concrete that we're talking about.
And I think we're going to need a couple more years anyway to really look at the test of time on the repairs that you have done there.
Yep.
Certainly 1 year is not sufficient unless it's starting to, if it's starting to totally fail already,
Yeah.
we know it's not going to work. But that's going to buy us some time, so I agree, let's leave it at 0. And we'll hold that at its current level.
So that was my point. If you look up in the middle of that page, the budget is 1.5, or about 1.5,
Yep.
and last year was 1.4.
Yep.
So we're up about 100,000,
And roughly 90,000. Yep.
90,000 over 1.5. It's not a bad number.
And if you take it even further and go to the bottom line, if we're not going to do another 75, what was it, 75, 80, almost 100,000 that we're not going to add to the existing trust funds, it's going to be pretty much a level funded.
But we are going to put money in for the new bridge,
Yes, yes.
and that's a big number. But
Yeah.
if
But it's also a unique, that's a unique situation, so, but I hear you. It is going to be a large number. We split it up over a couple of years. The point being, if we put 200 into the Moose Mountain Bridge, plus we had, but we're not going to put another 100 in something else, the net effect will only be 100.
that's my point. Once we get a view of where we're going, we see what we can afford.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I have one more thing I'd like to, on the budget and warrant articles. For planning purposes, when are we going to have the public hearings? Because I have some stuff happening in January. I'd like to know when we're going to have meetings or hearings.
You just gave it to me, and there it is. I thought I lost it already.
The first notice has to be posted by January 4th. The first hearing has to be held before January 15th. It's the only one I know off the top of my head.
Okay, so if we post it by, that's the last thing, we can post early.
Yes.
If we wanted to have a public hearing in the first week of January, we could do that.
I just have to know when it's like schedule stuff.
To me, the sooner the better. We have 26 apiece, yes we do. We're going to have a regular board meeting on the 6th of January. And this is the public hearing. It's a public hearing just on the budget
And warrants.
and warrants.
We do both.
Is a regular meeting sufficient time? Think so? Okay. Well, that means we're gonna have to hustle on the warrants, because when you post, do we have to make those available?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
and the budget.
But there's still time to modify them based on the results of the public hearing. but
Yep.
That's when we
Yep.
got that. So I'd suggest that we have a public hearing on the budget and the warrant scheduled for January 6th. So backing that up, is it 10 days or 14? Posted.
Maybe 10.
We put it up. On December 23rd. So if we want to post by December 23rd,
Okay.
that gives us 2 regular meetings in December to finish up the warrants. Plus we have an in-between week if we need it. Comfortable with that kind of a time frame?
Yeah.
Think we can get it done?
Who's we? I mean, I got 3 done, I'm not gonna do them all. Who's gonna do some?
We'll have to share the burden. I can't tell you right now, I gotta look at them all again and figure out what we want to do. Certainly, we can assign them. We can assign them right now. Okay. I'll take care of the trust funds. So that'll be the townhouse repair, property revale, all right, do you want to work on the townhouse acoustics? Or whatever we decide we're going to do with that?
I think we need a list. You got a list. We need a list that we can all share, where we see what our assignments are. And we bring the wording in next week so we start building this warrant, because we're not gonna get it done the first time.
I agree. But we can walk out of here knowing what those assignments are going to be.
Okay.
And we'll put it together on a list with the assignments made. On the Moose Mountain Bridge, I'll take that one as well. Yeah, let's have a discussion on this facility.
On what?
This facility, town office. What do we want to do for the town office in 2026?
Didn't you want to look at the plans Jan submitted first before you discuss that?
I've looked at it, I don't know if you guys have. Is it this, or is this,
I don't think we want to do anything till we have a plan. You can't take a partial step on that.
I haven't looked at this one. And again, we don't have a long-term, what are you gonna do with this over the next 10 years?
That's right.
So we're looking at one year at a time.
That's right. We're looking at 6 months at a time, so we need a plan.
Right. But that doesn't, there's 2 separate issues. We need a plan, but we gotta have, the expediency is on putting together a warrant article, what we're gonna do next year.
What do you think we're going to do?
I'm not so concerned with the long range.
Oh, what do you expect to do next year? You're going to put a warrant together this week. What do you think we're going to do?
My opinion,
Yeah.
nothing.
Me too. So we don't need a warrant. I don't think we're ready.
Well, but we don't know that for sure until we look at a plan. If we look at the long-range plan, we may change that. We may change that, we may say, no, we better get started on this now.
Not gonna happen in 2 weeks. It's not gonna happen.
I'm leaning that way, I agree. See, 11 power. Okay. No. We'll talk about it some more, but I'm thinking right now, well, I want to see this and get into it a little bit more. There's some shuffling that we've got to do here, personnel, offices, rearrangements. That may alleviate the problems, and that may be all that we can do for next year.
You done with the assignments? The warrant articles, are you done signing them?
Yeah, I think so for right now. If we're not going to do anything there, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know if we were able to pick up on that. We'll go over and make sure to put that list together. Make sure we have it for the next meeting. And we're not going to meet, speaking of that, I don't think we need to meet next week. That's Thanksgiving week. A lot of people try to travel on the road. So our next regular meeting would be the December
Second.
second
Second.
meeting. Do you feel there's a need to meet sooner than that?
Not unless there's more budget stuff that comes up we need to go over.
I think on a budget, we got a pretty good clear path on where we want to be. You agree with that assessment? Do you think there is a need to meet before December 2nd?
I'm concerned we're not gonna have anything to post January 1st. Because then we have December. If we're not traveling, let's go over the warrant articles. Let's make sure we're happy with those. Let's make sure we're happy with the budget, and then we can skip some meetings in December.
So you'd rather have the meeting
I'd
next
rather-
week and get it done, and if we can drop off one before Christmas or something, we can drop it off before Christmas. You agree?
with that? Yep.
Okay, so
I'm
we'll
not traveling. If you guys aren't traveling, no.
No, I'm not either. So we will meet next Tuesday, November 25th.
Unless the goal would be the warrant articles and the budget. If we feel comfortable that we have the warrant articles squared away and the budget squared away, we're 90% there. But I think we're gonna find some holes in the warrant articles.
Oh, I'm sure we will, because it's going to be the first time we see them other than the two we went over today.
And I gotta write those up.
Yeah, it's going to be the first time we've seen it, so I'm sure there's going to be some questions and then we can cycle through. So we'll plan on meeting on the 25th. And again, the focus, like you said, is going to be on warrant articles and budget. And as far as the budget concerned, I don't see a lot that we have to worry about on the line items other than those things, the trust funds, which are part of the warrant articles.
And we should have the Wakefield numbers by the end of November.
Should. Yep.
So they're doing their budget. And at that point, we should have a pretty good handle on what those gross numbers look like.
Yep. Now, I also heard that I always want to say Greater Wolfboro, Kingswood.
Governor Wentworth.
Governor Wentworth, thank you. Governor Wentworth, the school district, has taken care of their numbers and submitted them back to the DRA again. They submitted them once, they got kicked out, they've resubmitted. I've heard it, I haven't been able to confirm it.
Yes, they did that, and they're waiting for a revenue review right now.
Okay.
And we have to do our revenue review. So there's two open items. Once they do their revenue review, then they can figure out what they're going to tax each community.
When you say they, you're talking
Well, the school
the
district.
school district? Okay.
And then we'll do ours. So I think, I just look at what is going to happen. We're going to do the ordinances.
Yes.
You plan on doing ordinance?
I'd like to go through, no, I don't, Austin really, you haven't had a chance to go through them yet, right?
We already tabled.
We'll have to kick this can down. I want Austin to take a look at them too. Have you gone through them? I've gone through them, I've got some marked up.
I never called them.
Okay, so take some time to go through it, and we'll put it down for, you said December 2nd, I think, right? December 2nd, we'll put that on the agenda.
And then how we doing on the private road thing? That's coming at us too.
So, we have one opinion that says we have to do nothing. You're talking about the bill on the Class 6, right?
No.
No, what are you talking about?
About the waiver.
Oh, the waiver?
We generated a
Oh,
waiver,
private.
road
Yeah.
waiver. You guys are
We
gonna
did
work
the
on that.
one, we did the one on public.
Yeah.
That's done and signed. We gotta sit down together and do the one on private.
Yes.
Sorry, I misunderstood what you were. So that should be on the agenda for, I know we want to talk warrant articles. Not going to be a warrant involved on that. So let's put that out to December 2nd.
Yep.
Between now and then, we'll sit down and get together, and we'll have to look at some cases, and we'll look at the one that we just signed for the public roads, and see a lot of similarities.
I think there's one more issue on the town report. Who's doing it?
That crossed my mind the other day. Good question. Kate has done it for us in the past.
We have asked her if she, I haven't asked her.
I haven't either.
You might want to ask her if she would do that.
I'll reach out. Kate, see if she's willing to do it again this year. You can give her the heads up, tell her to call him if you'd like.
Will do.
All right. All right, let's go to Department Committee reports. Jan, you want to start?
Yeah, just going back quickly to the acoustics issue, we've set Tuesday, December 2nd, which is also your meeting. And the process is, there's a 30-minute walkthrough, which will be Mary Lou and I, and then the acoustical engineer will take anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour to do the measurements, and he doesn't want anyone else in there because it needs to be very quiet. And then he's proposing a group discussion, which is anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes. I just need to know what your preferred time frame is, because I know you have a meeting that evening. So it can be from 12:15, 1:15, or 2:15. And so to the degree you can tell me, that would be great, because then I can firm that up on our calendars tomorrow morning,
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
I'm open all morning up to the meeting.
And Austin, I know you're working, so that's probably not going to be. And that's, by the way, that general discussion is open to the public, so we can post that. I would ask Susan, who raised the issue several times, if she wanted to attend, but it's for anyone who wants to come.
What times were the?
The times are right on yours, so 12:15,
12:15, 1:15, or 2:15.
1:15 is good for me.
Yep, it works for me.
Okay, 1:15, perfect, thank you. Okay, so I will get that and I'll confirm that. Let's see, the website, we're on track. Leah started her training today. I start my training tomorrow. I know that we talked about a veterans page. I am hoping to use that as a way to practice. So one of my questions for you is if you would just go back and take a look at the proposal I put together for what a veterans page with the letters would look like, and if you think that is okay, I brought copies here, then I would use that to practice on. And I've checked out all the links, but I'll just give you.
So are you saying that we would do it after we've had the training and see how well we
Yeah,
do?
exactly,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So those would just be the links. And the resources, we can always revise, we can always revise that, but because we didn't want to create any extra delays by creating another page on the website, we can do that as an addition to the website. So I don't need your answer today, but if you would just take a look at it, if you think that's a resource that would be valuable, then we can use that as a practice.
I think it's a good idea for two reasons. One is it gives veterans a resource that they can get to.
Yes.
And then the other thing is it gives us an opportunity to see if we're ready. Right? To see
Exactly.
if we can handle this.
Right, right,
Maintaining, adding,
exactly.
working the webpage.
Yeah, because it has pretty much everything we'd need to do on any other page, so that's that. And then the other thing that's just, we'll talk about it, I think, in January, but we, through Primex, we can do a cybersecurity audit on the town.
So I
and-
am working on that. I'm meeting with them next week to talk to them about that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay. So one of the thoughts I had is, I don't know that if that's gonna end up, I mean, that's part of the service because we.
It is.
Yes. But I think it's about making sure the staff is trained on how to handle a cybersecurity breach.
And we're gonna come up with a whole plan and.
Who does what? Yeah, and if you're too busy, another thought I had is Joe Chambers Tully.
I appreciate the thought, but we can't have external people learning our cybersecurity implements and things like that.
Okay.
So I do appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, and he's on the web committee, so.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's actually something you picked up on in one of your recent.
Yes, at the cybersecurity summit. Keeping the people that are involved in our cybersecurity directly fairly minimal, so there's less risk of leaks and it's more secure, kind of.
Makes sense. Okay, great. So you're on that. Gaffney, I won't spend a lot of time. They have a wreath sale, so anyone who would like to buy a holiday wreath, they're $35. We did buy 2 last year for this office and for the townhouse. I could do that again, or if you would rather not do that, that's fine.
Can you say that again?
Holiday wreaths.
Does the
town
town
usually-
want to buy 2 wreaths?
Oh,
The town usually buys one for here and for the townhouse. And the question is, we can support the library by buying 2 wreaths there, or you may have another resource that you want to use.
oh, you have anything in mind?
Okay, we'll support, I'll take care of it. And then the last question, this is for Heritage. The town cane, have we selected a date yet for, I know Mary Lou has ordered it. Has she talked to you yet about?
She's mentioned that we have to do it, but we haven't picked a point in time yet
Okay,
to do it. And I told her that I would be the selectman's rep. I mean, because it is a Heritage Commission function, but I would gladly be the selectman's rep
yep.
when the
Okay.
time comes. I haven't-
Okay, terrific, all right, I'll follow up with her tomorrow night. And that's it.
Good? Yeah. Meg, you've done a lot for us tonight already. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I will have an additional warrant article and I'll email that to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, it's about closing the Park and Recreation Equipment Fund, which was never
Well, that's really
utilized.
the job of this.
I've already drafted it up, so I'll send it to Lee or Richard.
I've got that on the list.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Chris, what do you got?
Not too much, just preparing for winter. We removed the parking barriers from the parking lot today, so don't drive off. And just thinking about those, may want to consider at some point replacing them. There's no need right at the moment, but there's a couple of them that are pretty broken, but but other than that, just
Let me ask you, there's a line of them runs down this side of the parking in the back too. Do those affect you when you're plowing?
I'm not really sure why they're there. They're kind of embedded into the grass, so I left them.
Yeah, they've been plowed up and over so many times that
Yeah.
all the dirt is settling, the grass is growing around.
Only thing that really affects the plowing here is the fact that it's not paved. So we push a lot of the surface off when the ground is not frozen.
Okay. Rich, you got anything else?
We all set with snow shoveling? Jeremy's on board?
Yes, he is.
Okay. 'Cause
He's
we-
also on board. I gotta check with Joanne. He submitted his insurance information.
Okay.
I just need to make sure that Joanne's okay with it. So we can have him start doing a bunch of stuff. I wanted to talk to you about that too. I think what we need to do is come up with a list of handyman things,
Okay.
and then we can prioritize it. So I think Leah's got a good handle on how many things that we need. There's a few that I know, Rich knows. Kind of canvas ever come up with a list, we can prioritize it, and he's ready to go whenever we need. And he has agreed to take care of the shoveling as well, so.
Good.
Cool.
All right. Let me check. Sorry.
All right, well, he's looking, you got anything specific?
I do. I have the Ag Commission. I need to appoint 2 people as alternates.
Okay, have they come up with names?
Yes.
Oh, all right, excellent, I know.
I'd like to appoint Dave Guttadero for 1 year as an alternate and Josh Shaw for 3 years as an alternate to the Ag Committee.
Okay, I will second that motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Swear them in too. You could took care of the swearing in?
Yep. That's all I have.
Okay. Find anything?
Nope, good.
Leah?
1 second. Just a couple things. My office is going to be closed tomorrow because me and Joanne are going to the New Hampshire Municipal Association Conference in Manchester. Also, in your packets, there is a harassment policy and a reimbursement policy. So after our HR training, me and Joanne started going through all the policies and looking for things that needed correction and whatnot. So the reimbursement policy needed some correction. It still had that you guys were setting the gas reimbursement rates when Joanne gets those numbers straight from the IRS. You guys don't do that anymore.
Oh, that's what the policy says?
That's what it said.
Okay.
Now it doesn't say that. And the harassment policy, Primex suggests that we should probably have one, so,
And I had a problem with one paragraph.
okay.
Reporting procedures and discrimination.
It's on the harassment one? Was that page 1 or page 2?
Page 3.
Page 2?
Yeah. What's the issue?
What do we want to do?
I'm sure
yeah.
we're,
There's a paragraph in there, how you report discrimination. What do we want to do?
it's on page 3.
Are we happy with what's proposed, or do we want to modify?
I'm still trying to find it. Report of procedure.
That's what I found. I don't know if you found something in there.
I haven't had a chance to go through it, to be honest with you.
Oh, then let's not force it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's not force it. Take it.
Oh, let's put all, we got 1, 2, 3 of them? Oh, 2 of them.
Two.
Let's put them on the agenda. Let's put it for the 2nd, December 2nd. Well, next week, I think we really need to focus on getting warrant article language done. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, I don't think we need to go into non-public right now.
No, I should have taken that off of there.
That's fine, that's fine. I did think about it coming in, there are some issues, but nothing that pressing. All right, anybody got anything else?
Sounds like they've got dinner.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.